Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining today's Jira training session. Before we start, please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Like, share the video with your friends as well or colleagues as well that you think might be useful for them. And remember, feel free to leave me a comment if you have any questions, if you want me to go over any particular topic again, or if you have something you're trying to do in your organization and you don't know how to, feel free to leave me a comment below and I'll be sure to get back to you. So today I'm going to be taking you through JQL queries, and the first topic is going to be how to use the basic JQL query filters, how it works, how to save them, and the key pointers you need to remember when working with JQL queries or creating filters. So right now, what you can see on my screen is I'm logged onto Jira, and you don't need to have a project create you don't need to go into a project to work with JQL queries. You don't need to have a project created to work with JQL queries in Jira to navigate through to the section, because on my screen it's taking you what you can see on my screen is the backend system to my project. So now the key parts you need to take note of is at the top of your screen in every Jira instance. These are the places you need to navigate to. So you would have your project, you would have dashboards, filters, apps, people, or plans. If you have advanced roadmap in your Jira, this is the part. If you follow my mouse, this is the part you will be seeing all those key navigations. So for JQL queries, you need to go into filters. Once you click on filters, then you would need to click on advanced issue search. So in your Jira instance, you might be seeing search for issues, or you might be seeing advanced searches. You might be seeing filters for yourself. So you just need to click on search, and then this will bring you to the home page. Okay. By default, if you it's your first time logging into your project, by default it's set to the basic JQL query, which is what you can see on my screen. But for people that are regularly using this and they're advanced JQL query users, it will be set to the advanced, which is I will switch this to JQL query, and this is what you're going to get. So either you're getting this view or the previous view. You don't need to freak out. That's fine. To switch back to the basic, at the right hand side where you can see my mouse, you can click on that and that will take you back to the basic. If you are an advanced user, you'd also need to click on the right hand side as well, and then that will take you to the advanced, JQL query. So today's topic, we're going to be focusing on basics, how to use the basic JQL query if you're not familiar with it at all. So I'm going to be switching back to the basic, and this is what you should be seeing on your screen. Key things you need to remember: JQL queries are does exactly what you would do in Excel when you're sorting and filtering. Remember, the Jira system in itself is quite a big kind of like database, and you have a lot of information, thousands of information from different departments using the same system. So the JQL query helps you to be able to sort and filter out certain information that you're looking for. You can go as far back as searching for your own particular project, or searching for a different category or team within the organization, or as particular tickets. Say, for example, tickets are the same thing we refer to as, your issues, your epic stories, bug tags, whatever issue type you already have defined in your system. So right now, the first thing you're seeing here would be projects. So in here you can see it says shows me all the projects. When you're saying all, that means you're telling the system to report back every single project you have in the system. In my subsequent videos, I will be telling you how to better categorize the projects so it even makes it a lot easier to find and sort informations that you would be looking for. So in this instance, if I am looking for projects for my project, you can click on the all, and then at the bottom here, it gives you the list of all the projects you have in in the system in Jira. If you already know the project you're looking for, either the key or the project name, you can search. You can type in here and then search, and then you can just click on what you're looking for. You can use the key to search if you know what the key is. The key for my project, for example, is going to be the SL. And then you can search by project name if you know what the project name is. The search button will allow you to search by that, and then it gives you options of possible matches to what you've put in there, and then you just need to select, tick on the one you're interested in. In this as well, you can search for multiple projects. You don't It's not a one-to-one basis, so you can search for 5, 10, 50 different projects in one go if that's what you're looking for. All you need to do is tick 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 the different ones that you are interested in. For this training, I'm going to be taking on Sandbox, and then that's it. And then the next thing you also want to search for, yes, I'm looking for my project, but I'm interested in just seeing all the epics that have been created for my project. So in this case, I will be going to the type. In your Jira system, you could have issue types. It could be called issue types. It could be called types. We're referring to the same thing. So in here now, once you click on the all as well, you can then filter to say, you know what, I want my focus on this training or on this filter to be on just all the epics that I have in all the selected projects you probably would have selected. So all you need to do is tick. Again, you can have multiple. It's not a one. You can tick on epics, blogs, stories and tags, all of the above if that's what you're looking for. Remember, it's a way of sorting and filtering out information that you require. So I'm going to be taking up the epics, and then the next one will be the status. The status in here are the same thing in subsequent videos when I'll be talking about workflow. That's how the status is being configured. So this is defined based on the different steps or different processes that for your team you guys are going to be working with. So in my project for epics, I've got to do, in progress, and done. This can be defined in any way. You can have as many statuses as you want. You can have different statuses for different issue types. You can have the same. You can have different. It depends on, what your team, how you guys work and how you're trying to, structure the team. For the purpose of this training, I'm just going to be sticking to all my in progress tickets, for example. But as well, I can have multiple. I could be interested in seeing all the tickets in open and in progress, or if I'm interested in seeing tickets that are just in the done status, you just filter out whichever one you're interested in. Another powerful one that you can also use is the assignee. So the assignee is the person that is responsible for, actioning that ticket, working on that ticket. So you can filter by assigning. Say, for example, in your team, you're interested in all the tickets that has been assigned to yourself or to a particular team member, a particular stakeholder, then you can sort and find the person in here. The same way the project works, you can either search for the person's name It also recognizes employee ID. So if in your organization you have an employee ID, you can put in the employee ID there, or you can, if you know the person's name, you can type it in, and then it gives you all the possible options, and then you can choose what you're looking for. In this instance, I will be choosing the current user, which is myself. So I'm going to filter on, everything that I've created for myself. You don't have to filter by assignee if you're not sure. You can just leave it at, you know what, show me every single person in there. I want to see everybody. Then you can leave it at all if that's what you're looking for. Another thing you can do in this box in here, you can also type in different information that you could be looking for. Every single field you have defined in your project will be captured in this box. So if you're looking for, created dates, updated dates, end dates, start dates, whatever the information it is that you're looking for, you just need to type it in there, and then it narrows it down, and then you can choose, what you're looking for, what sort of information that you're looking for. So for the purpose of this training, I will be choosing updated dates. So I want to see everything that got updated within a range. So in this pop-up, once you've selected the type of dates or information that you're looking for, it brings up this pop-up, and then you can decide, okay, do you know what? I want to see something between this day and this day, or do I want to see something updated in the last 5 minutes, in the last 10 minutes, in the last hour? You can choose from there. So the first one will probably be in the last minute, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So if I want to do minutes, for example, I'll click on minutes, and then in the box in here, I will just say in the last 10 minutes. So what you're saying technically is everything in the sandbox project that is an epic, still in the progress setters, and I don't care who it's assigned to, and it's been last updated in the last 10 minutes. I want to see that. That's what this query is telling me. So you can either at the left hand side, right hand side, sorry, you can see you can search by minutes, by hours, by days, or by week. In the last 2 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever you choose. And then in the box there is for you to specify how long you're looking for. If you're not too, you don't want to search by hours, you can search in terms of date range. So I can say, I want to see tickets created between or updated between the whole of last year. So probably will be from January 2021 up until, December 2021, or up until December 2022. Now that's where you go into kind of like decide what the date range you're looking for could be. You can also do more than, if it's more than a week old, more than 2 hours, more than, 3 weeks, anything updated more than 3 weeks. And then that's what the JQL query will pull out for you. So in this instance, I will stick to every single thing. I would do the one between, the dates between. So I want everything created the whole of last year, for example. So you can just go, it's going to everything created. So I would say February 14th last year, and between up until today, for example. And then you click on updates. All right. So you can see now that's my JQL query. So in this JQL query, you can see now that it hasn't brought out anything for me on my screen. That's probably because the information I'm requesting for doesn't exist, or the date range could be, I don't have anything created or updated within that time frame I've specified. So what you can then do is either you're changing the dates, or looking for, making sure that the requirements you're looking for is clear enough for you to be able to determine what you want the search engine to bring back for you. So in this case now, I would click on search, and then it looks like I don't have any I don't have anything that has been created in the last 4 weeks, within the last 4 weeks. So I'm going to change that to created dates, and then I would do the same again for the created dates, just to pull every single ticket that I've created in the few months ago. So I would say from July, and then I would say between July and now, and then I'll click on update, and then I'll change this to all the issues, every single thing. Give me every single thing that I have in the project, and then I'll click on search. Okay, so in this instance, you can see that it's not bringing out anything for me. So what I'm going to do is, so this happens because sometimes when you're being asked to do something or find something in the system, it needs to be clear in terms of what the requirement is. Because if you just say, oh yeah, I'm looking for this information, you need to figure out what's the best way for me to be able to write a JQL query to bring back result for me. So now, as you can see in this project now, it looks like I don't have anything that has been created within the specified period that I have done. So what I'm going to be doing now to find out, okay, what's actually going on here, I will go back into my projects just to find out. And then I would search for all the issues in there, because I've got only just one project in there. Okay, so as you can see that in this project, I've only got one issue. So I'll click on issues in here just to see that I've got three epics in one story in this project, and dates that they were created October, last updated as well in October. So obviously the JQL query that I was requesting for, my search doesn't meet the requirements in terms of what I have put in. So you just now need to go back and then do the query again. So in this instance, I am not saving any of my filters. So I'm just going to go back into filters, like we're going to do it all over again, or you can switch to basic here. Okay, I'll switch to basic, and then I'm saying I want project and I want the issue type to be epic, and I want everything in all the statuses. And then you can see now that now this is taking out the story that we could see in there, and it's focusing on just epics because I've specified I'm only interested in seeing epics that were created in my project, and I don't care what the status is. So that's why it's brought back anything. So if you remember in the previous query, it didn't bring up anything because we chose the status in progress. We were saying we wanted to see information in this project that are epics in the in progress status. But technically, on the system, in my project, all my epics are still in the to do status. So, hence the reason why the previous query came back with nothing, and this one is because the requirements are put in onto the system doesn't exist. I don't have any epic in the in progress status. Every single one is still in the to do. So that's how it works. Okay. So now that you've been able to sort and find whatever information that you're looking for, remember, once you've done that, you now need to save your filters. So you've created something. So now you need to save. So at the top right, where you can see my mouse, you can click on save, and then you need to name your filter. So this now I can say all epic. You can call it, anything. So I would advise that when you're naming filters, make the filter name a lot easier to recognize what's in the filter, because in organization there are thousands of filters, thousands of projects will be created, so you need to be able to make sure the names are what will be easily accessible or easily remembered within your team. So for this purpose now, I'm going to be calling my all my epics, because those are all the epics in my project. Key pointers: always remember to make sure that for the viewer section, you add either your organization, if that's what you can see, or all logged on users, or all web logged on users, or if you're creating the filter and you want it accessible just to your project team, you can also choose the option to a particular project, people assigned to a particular project, and then you choose who you want to access it. What I would advise in this situation, even though you can do that, because the filters you're creating, it's something you're going to be using for dashboards when we go into dashboard in terms of reporting. If you have restricted the viewers to only the people in your project, then when your viewers using that filter to create a dashboard, it becomes a lot more trickier, because if not everybody would be able to access that dashboard because they don't have the right to view. In my own opinion, I always tell people to make it accessible to everybody, so that even if you're going into a board meeting, or you're going into meeting with another squad and you want to review something, you want to be able to share the link to your dashboard and it's accessible to people. What you need to restrict is the edit permission. You don't want anybody changing what you've done or updating what you've done. Then you restrict the edit permission, but viewers, everybody should be able to view your dashboard, your filters, to see what you've done, copy what you've done if they need to. So in this instance, I'm going to be putting my organization. So everybody, remember, click on the add button, and then you can see it's come to the bottom of the screen there. Now, when I was talking about editing, this is where you go to specify who you want to give the edit permission to be able to make changes to your filters, to be able to make changes to, updates or modify your filters. So now you want to restrict the amount of people that has the permission to edit. Always make sure that the people you're giving edit permission to are familiar with what they're doing. They know how to run JQL queries. They know, how to sort and find. So that way you minimize the use of disruption, or, anything going wrong. So I would say specify that I want to give specific people permissioning, and then you would need to go in there and change that to users, and then you look for a name. You look for the person's name. You can either also search by employee ID if you know what your employee ID are. In some organizations, funny enough, you're seeing people bearing the same name. There might be two liars in the organization, so you want to make it a lot easier for you to find. So if you have their employee ID, it's always easier to find people that way. But feel free to also type in the name if you know who they are, and then you can have as many as possible. So if I want to say assign more than two people to it, you just need to keep, put it in one at a time. Once I've done the user, I've put my name, I click on add. Then I go back again, and then they do the user, and then you change the name, and then click on add, click on add, click on add. If you have specific people you want to, give the edit permissions to. In this section as well, you can feel free to, give all the team members or people that are administrators to your project access to the filters to be able to edit. Then you would need to choose the project section to give them that permission if that's what you're trying to do. Once you have specified, then you click on save. And that's it. So your filters are saved in the future. You can use these filters to create a dashboard to view different things. So in my subsequent videos, I'll be taking you through how to get a dashboard created and how you pull your filters in to view different things in your dashboard. So that's it for today's training. I know it was quite a lot detailed, but if there's anything still not clear, leave me a comment and I will get back to you. And remember, subscribe if you haven't, share the videos with the rest of your colleagues and friends, and leave me a comment. I hope to hear from you soon. So see you in my next video, and thank you.